belated. Sorry I couldn't get you on the stream there. We've been frantically trying to do restarts and all sorts in the background. We could see each other and we could give each other hand signals, but hearing each other was a bit difficult. But hopefully we are good to go now. So sorry, everybody. Good evening, and good evening, Mr. Martin.
Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Yeah, technical dramas. It wouldn't be a week without them.
It wouldn't be a week without one. And anyone that knows me knows how much I hate all that sort of stuff as well. So equally frustrating. But we're here now and we can hear each other, and I think we're live.
Should be. I'm just going through the advert at the start.
Nice.
Talking about Brighton,
we advertise
stuff like that. Holiday Inn at home and all that jazz.
Excellent. How has your Monday been?
Yeah, good. Slightly toasty, if anyone heard the first comment. But yeah, it's good. Been messing about with my ebuggy after yesterday, and started getting the nitro ready for this weekend.
Yeah, we're heading now, aren't we, into this back-to-back period? I was actually looking earlier on. It's 11 races on the bounce for us right now, so it already feels like quite a long road. And now we're heading into multiple nationals week after, you know, consecutively. So
yeah, which has kind of snuck up on me. I only quickly realised that. I literally thought last night, oh, when can I go practice at Hearts? Oh, I can't because it's already the cut-off.
Is it done already?
Well, it's 2 weeks from now.
Wow. Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's done.
So I was what can I do? There we go.
Do it on from your memory. That's going to be. I tell you what, we've missed out. Oh, well, you've missed out because have you got something to review drink-wise?
No.
Well, you would have done if I'd have remembered to bring a present for you. That very nice guy called, I don't think you've met him actually yet, Paul Kelzel, and he's had an engine from us, and Phil's helped him run his engine in, and so he's been coming to the raceway a fair bit, getting quite a bit of help from various people, and he literally turned up unannounced the other day while we were doing some more track work actually as it goes, and he'd bought us all a present as a thank you for helping him out, helping him get back into the hobby and track work that goes on to try and give everybody a nice facility to use. So this was his present to you, which is a pack of 4 specialty beers that he thought you could do a good review on our Monday Night Live. So this will make its way to you. You've got 2 custom lager piston heads and you've got 2 flat tire.
I'm already excited by this.
Yeah, it's cool, isn't it? That's fantastic. He very kindly bought me a bottle of Malbec that I'm currently enjoying. So thank you very much, Paul, if you're watching. Absolute diamond geezer. And Marky bought a load of Pepsi Max because he knows he doesn't drink.
He knows us so well.
Knows his stuff. Yeah, fantastic. He's pretty local as well. He used to live very local to the track. So I thought that was a cool story. So you'll have some beers to review next week. And I'm keeping them safe. I'm not drinking from.
I will do a good review for you next week.
Yes, exactly. Stuff like that definitely makes the effort when you stand there and think, what am I doing this for? Definitely little bits like that make a big difference. It brightened up our afternoon. Completely unexpected. So awesome stuff.
Awesome.
Shall we do? Yeah, exactly. Shall we do some shout outs from the side?
Let's do it.
Who we've got online.
Let's do it. So TQ Spot, once again, I mean, this guy is a championship leader for the Top Chat TQs. Davey Rolls, he says, evening, guys. Who came off worse with the heat this weekend?
Davey boy. And for me, it's definitely Rumble. He will not cover himself up. He seems to, I don't know what he's doing, but he's quite happy to just spend all day out in the sun and burn.
Yeah, he smashed it. He asked me what colour he was when we finished the race meeting, and there was one of our competitors' fuel brand had their banner on the rostrum, and it went from like orange to pink to red, and I said, "That's your spectrum right there."
Exactly. Dulux colour chart. We should have one, shouldn't we, and see what number Rumble is this weekend.
We should. We'll get it. Someone bring it to Shrewsbury, and we'll colour chart his face.
Nice.
Kev Brunston, we missed him this weekend, but he's online. He says, good evening from Kev. And
Elise, and cakes from Claire, and hope Elise is feeling better. And we miss you, Kev. You'd have enjoyed it. It was great race.
It was. Marcus Butler says, good evening, guys. The correct way to say my name is the same as the name Marcus. So there we go. Marcus, perfect. Don't worry, 44 years and no one gets the pronunciation right when they first see it.
Nice.
There we go. Now we know how to say Marquez's name.
Yeah.
Sarah Campbell, she's online, says, evening all from Sarah, but Craig is still working.
Bless him. I suspect he's doing that whole farming thing and making hay while the sun shines. So hopefully he won't be home too late.
I'm sure he is. It's not Clarkson's farm, it's Campbell's farm.
Exactly. That's a good program, isn't it? We watched that the other day. I thought it was very, very entertaining, very good.
Yeah, it's quality. I've watched it twice. Like the Sadak that I am.
Nice.
Adrian Svensson, he's online. Sven, this evening all. Hope the sunburn is not too sore. I'm actually pretty good.
You look good. I feel pretty good myself as well. Sven was out in the sun. He's not afraid. He's not afraid of a bit of sun. No, you've got some colour there, boy. Yeah, we're good. Missing you already, Sven. We'll see you at the weekend.
Homeboy RC's online. Evening, gents. Hope you ain't too burnt. I can see this being a common thing.
Yeah, I definitely can. And we missed Homeboy. We're gonna see him soon, I hope.
Homeboy hope.
Trackside.
Ben Johnson is online. Wisdom. He says it's absolutely beautiful to be here.
Yes, it's beautiful to have you online. And one of the races at the weekend down at Plymouth, the boys were doing very well. I think Ben finished second, if I'm not mistaken. So congratulations, buddy, on that. And Lyndon and Jane and the whole gang, they had a good race down there.
Legend. I'll skip for a few. Mark Jones says evening. Robert Glenn says evening. Mikey Shorey says evening. Luke Bennett says evening. Chris James says evening.
Now then.
Guess who CJ's with?
Chris Lovell.
Chris Lovell. Yes, he is indeed. And he likes him. You could almost say me likey. You could almost say me likey. So Chris Lovell says 1-2 testing. Obviously, Chris and CJ are obviously with each other. Steve Spencer is online. He says evening from myself and Sky, because he has my little Sky pup at the moment.
Very nice.
Giving her a little holiday down by the canal boat.
Good Lord, that's very nice for Sky.
Yeah, exactly. Winston Barnett is online. He says breaker 19 for a copy.
Winnie, we're looking for. I know we won't see Winnie this weekend. That's a shame. Pool table.
Really? Why?
I don't think he's in the Nationals, is he, Winnie? I think he's not doing the Nationals this year. It was this very National last time that we were there that he produced the pool table out of his caravan. So perhaps Winnie, you could come anyway.
It was the greatest thing ever. He's got a new caravan now as well, by all accounts.
Yes, and van. I was looking mighty fly down at Nemo the other weekend. It's got on the front of it and all sorts. So
he's American Chopper win. Dave Main is online. That pick doesn't do the justice to the heat. I think it must have been a live pick coming on the show, maybe. Yeah.
That is true.
Matt Bentley's online. Legend Matt Bentley says, evening, ladies and gents.
Good evening.
Homeboy says, we're not as red as he thought. Chris Lovell says, you is live. So, yeah, I'm just catching up to the start of the show. Lyndon Hammer says, hi, all. Hope all is well. So, hi to the Don and Jane.
Lyndon and Jane. Looking forward to seeing those guys this weekend at the next National.
Me too. Normandy Matthew, it says, bonsoir.
Bonsoir, Matthew.
Winston says 10-4. Claire is in the Amazon warehouse again. She's watching from the warehouse.
I'm impressed that you can get away in these big corps watching dribble like this while you're at work. Good evening, Claire.
Pixel Forge, which must be our man Paul, he says, you're all more than welcome. Not so local anymore, though. Look forward to it, Leroy. And I look forward to it too. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you, buddy. Thank you once again.
Homeboy, me dispensing wisdom. Start a stand-up show. I think Homeboy wants to start a stand-up show.
I will buy a ticket. I think you're quick-witted, so that would be entertaining.
Me too. Simon Dudman says, Truggy shells, please explain. I think it's one of our questions for later, and we'll try to do so.
It is. It is.
Chris,
Yes, we'll try.
Chris Lovell, I think we've got a small delay between us. I don't mean to keep talking over you.
Right.
Chris Lovell says, that's weird. Adam Armstrong says, evening all. Jamie Clancy is online. He says, evening, guys. And Tim Simpson says, evening. I think Tim just sent me some images too, so I wonder what they were.
Perhaps they are not shareable. We find out.
Most likely, knowing Tim, you know, he definitely loves a good picture, our Tim.
Yes, I suspect there will be good pictures.
I was trying to think of something more witty to say, but I couldn't.
Making up, going along. So, well, that's a good shout out. Let's move on into race reviews. I think the last weekend we had our latest round of the UK Truck and E-Buggy National Series, which was at the resplendent Brookthorpe track, which I don't think Lee, myself, or most of Nemo had been to since it had been converted into dirt. It's just fell awkward for us last year while we were trying to do Nemo Raceway to get down there. And what a great track! It was always a good layout, Leroy. I think you and we went there just before it shut and raced on the AstroTurf, which we've discussed before on the show, I think. But really good, really fun to drive. Great surface, really impressive, very racy as well. Some good racing all the way through the finals, I thought, on that track. So fantastic weekend from that point of view.
Yeah, 100%. You know, Brookthorpe did a wicked job of getting the track ready. Thought it was awesome. It still was very similarly laid out to the Astro track, but obviously now it's there. And yeah, it was wicked. Enjoyed it.
It felt so close to that original layout that I wondered whether they just cut the AstroTurf when they went back to dirt. You know, used the line like we did when we were laying our Astro at Nemo, and because it felt so close to it that it was almost unimaginable that it could have all been taken up, put to dirt, and then all put down in such a similar fashion. A couple of little bits are different, aren't they? But the big bulk of it feels exactly like it did before.
Yeah, I think for sure the Astro would have just been taken up, and luckily they had some good dirt underneath, mixed with a bit of oil and rolled, and it was good surface.
Yeah, really good. Envious of the surface. It looked really good. Guys done a fantastic job on that. My only small thing was the road in. I still think that needs a bit of work, Chris. If you can, I know how hard it is to do those sorts of things, buddy. But that would be cool to be able to get in with exhaust pipes still on van and stuff like that. But the actual track, once it was there, it was definitely worth it. Fantastic weekend. So thank you for that. For us, in terms of results, Leroy, you were running the e-buggy for the first time. You actually managed to properly get one of your own ones rather than a big borrow or steal from somebody else's. And you did awesome with it, in contention all the way through for TQs and all of the rounds. Once we'd done our little change that we're doing with the tyres and putting it onto the beta wheel and foam, you jumped forward once again, which was fantastic to see. And had a great race with Elliot in the final. Ultimately, a little bobble just at the wrong time just set you back, but there was hardly anything to choose between the two of you. So congratulations to Elliot for the win, and congratulations to yourself for a second. I thought it was a very good effort for your first go with it.
Yeah, it was good. First actual race with one. You know, begged, borrowed, and still one before, but we never actually raced it. We just had a little play with it. That's what she said. And but yeah, it was great. Did a few runs of it on the Saturday after getting used to the track, and it was good from the off. A few tweaks on the setup between myself and the team. We found some good stuff.
Yeah,
can't complain. You know, the tires were dialed. The package worked great. A little bit of a shame we couldn't really race in the final, because I tried to. You know, myself and Elliot were very similarly matched before I had a small mistake, but it was already like probably just under halfway through. And at that point, because I have no experience with it, I had no idea if I would make 15 minutes, not only because of the battery, but also because of the heat, because it was abnormally hot. So I couldn't actually push. So I didn't. I just kind of slowed down and kept a pace for second, really. And I'm sure Elliot did the same. But it was just a shame that the race was 15 minutes instead of like 12, where you could really put the hammer down for 12 minutes rather than just being worried you weren't going to make the finish.
Yeah, I think it's definitely pushing the equipment to the absolute limits in that heat and that length of duration. But we've discussed that loads of times. It falls slightly on deaf ears, which is fine. But yeah, it still was good. Fantastic drive as well from Lewis to move himself up from, I think he was 10th on the grid up to 4th. He had some hard battles all the way through, picking off the drivers all the way. So I think that was fantastic. Showed really good for the car. Also, Yo-Yo, he looked fantastic. The first time I'd seen him drive a 8th electric car as well. I thought he looked really competent with it. And obviously, as ever, the Follingtons and a host of other people that I'll be forgetting. But the cars all look really good. I was super chuffed for us as a thing with our product. It looked really good on the track. Tyres, car, all the bits and pieces, really good.
Yeah, definitely all came together. Yeah, everything worked wonderfully. Yeah.
Less so in truck. We both pretty decent in truck, but we both didn't finish it. So that's a bit of a to the headmaster's office to work that one out. You had a completely random failure popping a steering ball link over the ball, which I don't think I'm sure people think I say it every time. I've not seen that before, but I actually have genuinely not seen that before. So that was a bit disappointing to lose you early on in the battle. And then I was having a good go myself, enjoying it, and unfortunately my steering screw fell out whilst we were in a good position. So that was also equally disappointing because the trucks were really good and great fun around that track. Although a little bit small for the truck, it was still fantastic fun. So I think in the end we had Mr. Shorey in the A final as well. He finished in 8th position, I think, which is really good for Mike. Against some good guys there with you and Elliot and Clancy. Yeah, so that's no walk in the park this year. The truck championship. So yeah, really good. We had quite a lot of trucks going in as well. Good national for us. Although the results weren't quite there in truck, we still all enjoyed it, and that is absolutely what it's about.
Yeah, exactly. And they were fun to drive. Like I was really enjoying ragging the truck round. Yeah. Just a massive shame that happened in the final, even before the first fuel stop. So couldn't even extend the fuel stop or anything. But yeah, you live and learn. We'll put a little washer on to stop that from ever happening again, and move on.
Exactly. We'll chase another thing, and I'll go and find some Loctite so I can Loctite my steering bolts up, and then we'll have another go at where's our next one for truck and ebuggy. I can't think what that is now.
Nemo.
It's us. Yeah, it's us. We'll have a go there.
We'll have a go there.
That'd be good. Fun. Good. So that was the ebuggy and truck national. Super job to the guys. Thank you to all. Chris, I know you're watching. It's a big part of Brookthorpe is yourself. So top work, mate. Top work. We look forward to coming back for the nitro buggies.
Yeah, man. Super excited. And Chris answered our question. So no, he didn't just lift the Astro. 500 tons of dirt was added to the track.
Wow. Respect.
He said underneath the Astro was half of a house.
I would have probably thought it was more financially viable to renovate the half a house that you found rather than try and run a model car track. But I'm glad that you chose the model car track.
Definitely, and it does. You can see it because some of the bits. So when you come down the steps and then you went round that right hander afterwards, it was a big dip off.
Yeah,
off the
it
track,
wasn't it?
If you know what I mean.
I fell off into that at one point, and I didn't even know where I was. Literally did. Dukes of Hazzard coming out of it, nearly collected Clancy in a qualifying run. I just heard someone shout the watch, "Way!" So, yeah, that's me. Sorry, I didn't mean to do it. It kind of happened. It's good.
Just ended up.
And I actually hadn't realised because I hadn't done the Leroy track walk. I actually hadn't realised it, like you were saying, just how deep that was there. It was proper deep, wasn't it?
Well, if you ever had to marshal on Marshall Point 2, like I did all of the day, if someone crashed there, you had to run, jump down a massive step to that bit of track, and then jump in the swimming pool. And I think a few people mentioned that if we filled it with water, we could actually have quite a nice swimming pool there in the heat.
And alligators. That would be good.
Yeah, less good if you're actually trying to swim in it, but good if you just want Marshall cars.
I won't be swimming in it, so I'll just watch from the side. It'd be more fun. So that was good. So star driver, come on, let's choose some star drivers from the race. Who was yours?
Are we doing like truck and e-buggy as a collective? Like, my phone is sliding down and I'm trying to go with it to not look weird. Let me put this back up.
Yeah, I think just do a combined. Who was your standout performer from the race?
Standout performer. Let's go not with the obvious, because that would be obvious. Standout. I'll go for young Dylan Saunders for making the truck second place.
That's who I was going to pick. Yes, truck for second place for Dylan. Fantastic effort from him. I think he had a really good race with Jamie to get that. I think he got it on the last lap, he said to me. So big congratulations to Dylan. Piranha user on fuel, like we've said before. So good effort, good effort.
And he was running
now. Who am I going to?
6 Mick Bandit T tyres.
Yes, most of the time. I think he swapped across a few bits and pieces. I'm not quite sure what he ended up in the final, but yeah, he certainly was on those for a big portion of the.
Well, for sure, his car at the end for pictures was on the 6 Mix.
Nice, good. Yep. He had good speed. He had good speed. Excuse me. Who am I going to pick now? I need to start going first in these things, then I don't have to worry about my pick taken. Standout performer. Matt Bridge.
Matt Bridge. Yeah, he had a pretty good result in truck.
He got fourth. He got fourth in truck.
Yeah.
I think that's a good effort. So yeah, well done, Matt. Very good.
Okay. Happy days.
Without causing any drama, who was your underperformer of the race?
My underperformer. Dun, 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 dun. I don't know. Do we have to pick one? It always seems bad.
Well, it was fun at one point until people got a bit too seriously. But yeah, I think you should pick one. Who are you surprised that did go slightly better? Let's put it more 2021 on the crowd. Who did really, really well, but could have done a little bit better next time?
You know, I don't like to pick these things. You pick first, as you want to. As you said,
I don't have one. I don't have one lined up in my head. I'm going to go with Mitch Booth because he's really fast around there, and I was expecting him to be a little bit higher, and I think he had the pace to be, but he just had a rough final. So I think Mitch Booth was mine.
Okay, I'll go Mike Lewis, purely because I know he wasn't there on the practice on Saturday, which obviously hindered him. But I know he goes there quite a bit, or at least used to. I know he bumped into the main. I don't know how actually well he did in the main, but he was in the B final to start with. So there we go.
Yeah, I think that's a fair shout because again, we expect him to be right up there. So it's not meant in a negative way. It's meant in a, we thought you'd be higher up. I think they're two fairly sensible choices that shouldn't leave anybody feeling violated. Hopefully. What else was on? That was the national done. What else was on? We had in Ireland. We had a race. BA, Mr. Barclay Abernethy was strutting his stuff for us again in the north at Bad MCC, home of Paddy Piston, and he took the win. That backed up a win last weekend that we didn't cover, which was down in Cork. So he's done south to north of Ireland, and he's done some domination in the last 2 weeks. And I actually do have a couple of little pictures because I'd like to throw them up because I love Barclay. So let's get him up there. Look. There he is, look, on P1. You'll see that in about a minute. So I'll keep talking for a little bit longer.
I have seen the picture already, I think. So,
you are?
I think I've seen the picture. So, yeah, looking good, man.
He is looking good. He is like myself, looking like there's been too many barbecues going on. I've noticed a trend, Mr. Abernethy, that we keep getting slightly larger team T-shirts sent out to you.
And no new driver that you're telling us about, so...
No, exactly. We're just going up a size each time. And this is second pictures up there now from Bad MCC, rocking a nice Piranha banner in the background. Thank you very much, sir. Well done on 2 wins. Obviously, rocking the F225. Really good feedback from Barclay on that. Obviously, anyone that knows me a little bit knows that Barclay and I have been together for a long, long time, even going back to X-Ray days when we both raced for X-Ray, and also OS and Bullet and all those things. So really good to be hearing his feedback on what he's finding on the F225s. Like for us, it's a big change for him from many years of using something else. So yeah, all good in 30-degree heat. It was buzzing at his buzzing, which is good.
Buzzing, bro.
Buzzing. What else? Any other races that I've forgotten?
Well, you said there was a race at Plymouth.
Race in Plymouth, yeah, we covered that briefly. They had their latest round. We had good support there as ever with Lyndon and Jane and Ben and lots of guys down there running our stuff. Obviously, in the early days, started off by Mr. Dave Stanley, doing a great job for us down there. And those guys are taking that up and amped it up by about 10, which is great to see. We're looking forward, we say this often on this, but we're looking forward to getting back down to Plymouth. I want to get Leroy down there. He's not been there yet. It's a cool little track. It's a great weekend. So we're definitely going to get one of them penned in. I think they'll probably have something in September time. They normally do like their Astro Wars event, which we'll try and get down to and support them for. Always up with us. So definitely we need to return that favour.
Yep, agreed.
Anything else? What else was on race weekends that I didn't know? Anything on the electric side that you want to mention? I'm getting attacked here.
I actually don't know. I think there was a race at Hearts Electric on, which CJ was at.
Yes.
Did quite well by all accounts. I think it was in the B main, but there was some stiff competition. Obviously, all practicing for the Schumacher series. It's going to be at Hearts in just a few weeks, straight after the 8-scale national, as it happens.
DJ was my loser, actually thinking about it. He should have been at Brookthorpe. He would have enjoyed that track with his 8th buggy.
He would have enjoyed the track. He would not have enjoyed that triple.
Could have been a problem. That was a fairly.
It's a big old sender. I must say, if you do fancy doing anything to the track for the nationals, a slightly longer, taller down ramp for that triple would be amazing. I appreciate if you can't. That's just my 2 pence.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I mean, it's super fun. I enjoy it personally myself, and it feels great when you get it right. But it's a heartbreaker. And
sure.
You didn't. And it's exciting to marshal.
Yeah, I say you didn't have to land with like a buggy when you went a bit long, and you were like, oh my god, it's falling out of the sky.
Monster trucks rule.
Yeah.
Good. Right, okay. So apart from that, perfect. New products. That's my segment next. We don't have any, so that's easily done. What we have got is a big Gamma and Beta restock that's just arrived today, which will be going online tomorrow at some point, which is tires and oils on Beta, all those accessories, and a Gamma for pretty much everything, kits and parts and everything else like that. So that's fantastic, and it's great time for the weekend as we head off to East Shrewsbury, which we'll cover in a minute or 3. But yeah, that was an easy, quick segment on that, Leroy. We need to do some new products.
Yep. We'll make some. I mean, we got a lot of carbon stuff we need to make. We just need to get the machine back out.
Yes, 100%. And actually, we have Mr. Truman did do us a batch of a few bits and pieces. So we've got the nice little radio stiffener that you did that goes between the 2 servos, and also the very nice, very thin wing button that's all one piece as well. So we actually have some of those run off and ready to go. Excuse me, we've just got to photo it and list it, so that we'll try and get that done for the weekend, which should be good. So we move into question time now. I've got some questions from our side. Shall I start with those, and then we'll move and see if there's anything on the side? Anyone, if you're watching, if you've got any questions you want us to answer, get them on the side, and we will cover them shortly. I will try and bring in our favourite lobster as well at this point as we're into question time. See if we can get him. One moment. Bear with me as the man was saying. All right, we'll send him a link. Hopefully we'll see him up in the bottom shortly. Very good question to start with. I think we can cover this one before Mr. Rumble joins us. What have you enjoyed most about the season's racing so far? Obviously, we're back racing, which is fantastic in its first place. What's been your highlight?
My highlight has been being back. Back with friends, back, a big highlight for me is always on like the Saturday evening of a race meeting with all your buddies, and you're having a barbecue and you're all kind of chilling out again, which we haven't really been able to do for the past, year or so. So that's always a highlight for me. In terms of individual races, our races have been awesome. I really enjoyed the Nitrocross there. I thought that was great. Obviously loved the Dirt GP. But yeah, the biggest highlight for me is we're back to some kind of normality, and it's really good to hang out with everyone again.
Good. I think my highlight has been back traveling, back going and visiting other tracks that we've not managed to do for some time. Even if that's been coming up with you, Leroy, to East Shrewsbury when we did their club night one night on a Thursday evening. I enjoyed that, just busting out some laps and driving an RC car with there's no pressure for me anyway, but just cruising around and enjoying it for what it was. I think I've definitely missed that. Obviously so focused with trying to pull off Nemo Raceway last year that I didn't get to do any of those races that were happening. I know you went to a few. And then with the tier system, I fell in a tier where I couldn't come to Westmill with you guys when you were going there and stuff as well. So really good to be back traveling. So that's my highlight. Bit like yourself, the Saturday nights, even this weekend in the Beefeater with the Jones and Shorey and Nick Simerson, and just having a bit of food and talking crap and having a beer. That's a big part of this hobby. So for me, it was always a big part of the hobby. So that's my favourite bit. To go with this question is, what's the bit that you've disliked so far? And I can see Mr. Rumble looking in a new location down below, so we'll bring him in too. Good Lord, that was hello, Mr. Rumble.
Afternoon.
How are you?
Good evening, all. How are we doing?
We're good. We look like we're joining you from your jazzy conservatory or something.
Yeah, I'm in a new location of just in a safe zone.
I thought
this might be a safe zone.
Have not got enough tan on your neck from the weekend, so you thought you'd go by the window.
Yes, exactly. Get a bit more use.
I was actually sat in the garden. I thought I'll sit in the garden. That would be quite nice. Only to realise that I then dropped out from my current mobile Wi-Fi setup, and that would have been disastrous, more disastrous. So I opted out. Thought I'd come inside in the muggy house.
It is very muggy.
Yeah.
I know it sounds
muggy, isn't it?
It sounds a bit Love Island, doesn't it? Really, but
yes.
How are we all doing? Are we all okay? Long time no see,
hanging,
John.
Long time no see. Yes, exactly. But a few hours.
Yes. Oh yes. We had a very busy day.
That's your house?
Yeah, what?
Are you sure that's your house? I reckon
Yes.
you've positioned yourself so you can do a quick getaway. You're somewhere else.
Oh no, I'm in number 10. This is number 16's house, and they're not in. They're
I was
on
going to say,
holiday.
just waiting for the husband to come back. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So we had a fantastic. Just be a minute.
Yeah, exactly. We had a fantastic question, and that was, what was your favourite highlight, or what was your highlight of the season so far from the national side?
But, for me, being back out at the races, the restaurants, the art, the evening tomfoolery, the early mornings, late nights.
The three of us are basically saying the same.
Right.
Which is probably the same for watching this as well.
I didn't. I was watching along, but obviously missed where you may have just been saying
that bit.
Yeah,
so we just got to that. We'd done that bit. We just got to the point of saying what had been the dislike, and Leroy was going to tell me his dislike so far.
My dislike has been, I think, the constant grief that people get about like not having your face mask covering like your eyeballs and stuff. And I think a lot of the concern from a distance, it seems that you're trying to go racing and you might not always have your face mask exactly over everything. But the one time you might pull it down, someone's going to complain about it. That's been my small dislike about it all.
Very good. Am I still broadcasting? I'm frozen on both my screens here, so am I still like working?
It says you are live. I think we're working.
We can still hear you. I mean, that's the thing's got to catch up over there. But
yeah,
good.
So the thing, my answer to that question is that racing appears to have, in the last sort of small period of, well, maybe not so small period of time, in the last year, 2 years maybe, racing has just enhanced in a way. Everything has stepped up in terms of commitment level for lots and lots of people, and inevitably us as the sort of top of that, we have to follow suit. So 3-day races are now 5-day races, 2-day races are 3-day races. A 1-day race is not a 1-day race, it's a minimum 2-day race. So that's the only thing I'm not so keen on, because I think it's the outcome is probably the same, but so long as people are enjoying the racing they're doing. I see a lot of people not enjoy it, none in amongst us, but I see other people sort of doing it, and you think, I'm not so sure they're enjoying themselves. And I think that's just where some of the intensity and the drive to get better and better and better has taken over reality.
I almost feel that
good answer.
The fact that a lot of your elite, shall we say, myself or whatever, haven't actually been able to travel out of the country, that everyone's put so much focus on going to race in England, that every race you go to is intense. There hasn't been many club races per se. A lot of races have been quite intense and a fierce battle for the win.
Yeah,
mini nationals.
True.
Mini nationals every week.
Exactly, yeah. And the thing I think that makes it more difficult, as you say, for the elites, or for the professionals or the paid drivers, or however you want to classify it, is that it's quite tricky. It's tricky for you guys because, in some ways it's not tricky. I'm sure it's it's quite a good existence, but equally, in the same way, you go to a club race, you're expected to just win. If you don't win, something's gone wrong. If you win, you've just met a satisfactory level. No one is sort of surprised to see the elite win, but they're very surprised to see them lose. And there's only one winner, all of these races. So it's tricky.
That's been the case for quite a few years now.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's
Yes.
not a new thing,
No.
but it's just that it's quite evident.
Club racing is the hardest racing.
Yeah.
Especially
It
in
seems to be the case.
where you get like a 1-leg 5-minute final, and if you crash on the first corner, you could not make it back to the front.
No, that is it.
No.
And you've got some local,
local
talent, etc., that makes it even harder.
Yep.
At least with 8 scale, with the longer races, you can have an error and get yourself back up there, which has always been one of the things that's an appeal on 8 scale. So moving on to the next one, which is a good question. Any tips quickly learning a track that you've never been to before? Yeah, I skipped it. I know.
Anyway,
I thought I'd got away with it.
I memory like a sieve. Don't even know.
I've disliked. What have I disliked? Not a lot. I've enjoyed most elements of it. I think there's frustrations by trying to do races ourselves at Nemo Raceway with nearly everybody is fantastic, and they come in and do what we'd like them to do and what we have to do because we've got packs and plans with the council and stuff, because we've had so much heat, and they respect that we need it to do that. There are a few that repeatedly are a bit of a pain for that, which is a bit of a chore to just absorb that and not say what you'd think at that particular time. So that's probably a dislike. My other dislike is a lot of effort goes in to try and do these races, and again, most people really appreciate it. But when you get the odd comment, that is a dislike for sure. I'm sure I've been on the other end of that previous time in my racing career, where perhaps I've said, something isn't very good, and not been massively respectful of the effort that goes in by people to put these races on, that I now completely fully appreciate. So perhaps that's just something that you learn when you have to do it yourself. But in general, I've loved all of it, really, to be fair. Apart from the early starts in the morning, I dislike that. Apart from that, I've loved just being back racing. Missed it. Sometimes a break is as good as a change, or whatever they say. And not being able to get out and race and do those things definitely has reinvigorated the love for the hobby. Like yourself, Leroy, we've been doing this a very, very long time, and sometimes you can get a bit bogged down with it, can't you? Have a break from it for a little while and realise that DIY at home and all those other good things is actually not that good. So it's much better to be back out racing again. So I've liked it all. In general, I've liked it all.
Talking of that, I've got a whole set of office furniture to build later.
Well,
don't even
Mr.
talk
Rumble
to me about building
to me
furniture.
He is no. You proclaimed to me that you are very good at DIY now, but 2 days ago. So I think you should go and help Leroy out and build all of his furniture. We could do it as a live.
We could do it as a live.
There's not enough memory in the world not enough storage to get that streamed anywhere.
Live.
We don't have the bandwidth.
So on to my good question. We've got any tips for learning a track quickly that you've never been to before? So this is coming from one of our Irish team that are going to Cork for the first time. They've never driven that track. Is there anything that you guys would do with setup to be able to get up to speed quickly, or would you go and do a track walk, or what's your major thing when you go somewhere new? So I think that's a cool question, Leroy, that you probably be the most qualified to answer.
So firstly, make sure your car is set up. It doesn't, you might not know the perfect setup, but you have to know what you're starting with. So don't be somewhat lazy and not rebuild your shocks because you don't know what's going on. Make sure you rebuild them. You know what's in there. You know what's in your diffs, so that when you get there, you can react quickly without having to second guess what you've done the last race. Other than that, look for local knowledge before you go. Speak to some guys down there, what the traction's like, stuff like that. And then, of course, when you do get there, do a track walk. I do them at tracks I know, let alone tracks I don't. Always do a track walk. You never know what you can find. Look for elements of the track that are going to be tricky or you can't see very well from the driver's stand, and then go and study them and work out where you need to position your car to make sure you get a good line. And then look for any not nice elements of the track, bumps or something that's sticking out here or there, and make sure you avoid them. And if it's in your head when you drive around, if you do crash on that part of the track, you might click back and go, oh yeah, there was a bump there that I forgot about, so I need to go a little bit wider, a little bit tighter than what I think.
Good, solid advice. And if you can, find somebody in your heat that is a local and knows it well, and go out and follow them. Just go out the pit lane at the same time as them and try and let them tow rope you round the track. That always works quite well as well.
I was just thinking on the topic of doing a track walk. I was just thinking that us sort of getting into that routine of doing the national track walks on the whenever it is, like 9 o'clock on the Saturday AM is a fantastic thing for all of the guys, because they can get Lee's insight as to what to look at or what to avoid. Also, them being streamed live or videoed. Yeah, that's cool. So for any of those watching that don't know that happens, always sort of keep your eyes peeled over a national weekend, which you'll see this weekend, that we'll be doing a track walk. So that'll be good.
It will. We're doing it at every one without fail. Track work with Leroy live stream.
Yeah.
Why did Mark Rumble turn up without shorts this weekend? That is a fairly important question.
Mark Rumble was sort of rushing a little on the Friar Saturday AM, getting his 924, getting his shit together, decently unsuccessfully. in amongst dealing with other madness. So Mark sort of had a little peek through the shorts area. At that, don't take that out of context. Had a little look at, and I thought, these are all unverified. These are unverified shorts. We'd been concreting, or dust and dirt and oil and mixing and this and that with my lovely pair of verified shorts. So they were an absolute write-off. So they were not going to be worn at a national time.
I have a question. Have you ever thought about after dinner speaking?
After dinner speaking.
Like when you need to. It's a thing. It's a verified thing. It's a golden opportunity for you.
What you should do, you should do
stand
a bit
up
of traveling, have a little adventure somewhere, and then I think you'd be called in as a guest speaker to everything in the world.
I think
after dinner speaker. That's it. That is you. You could pack it out. I'm going to ask the next question exclusively to Leroy. What is the best flavour slush puppy?
Well, see, I only tried the red one at the weekend.
Oh, man.
I know.
What?
I was I'll tell you what it was. Doing 2 classes with a truck that broke in qualifying as well. And we had quite the drama to get it fixed because I broke a screw off in the actual outdrive. It was a bit rushed. I didn't actually even get a chance to go to the burger van. My good pal Steve had to go for me and bring me slushies and ice cream. So
he was he bought slushies for everybody. He was a legend.
It was an absolute ledge. And so I'm going to go with the red one on the basis that that's all I had.
All you had, and that would be lovely if that's all you had. Rumble, we will ask you, red or blue?
Blue full stop. Never. I don't even touch red. It's foul. Blue in the case of this is an LRP. Blue is better. Only for
and John, what's your choice?
Blue. It's all about the blue. You get a blue tongue. It's blue.
I mean, I did hear that the catering van were putting piranha in that slush puppy. So
I think that is verified. I think the first one I had a slight, and it was early in the morning because I saw I had a blue slushy, and I've got a bit of a thing for those. Thought I'll have one of those at 9 o'clock. That'll be fine. It did have a slight twang, like it possibly had some disinfectant still in it. Past that, they were lovely. So, and no side effects.
It's flushed it out in your one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That was Windex.
So, yes, exactly that. Should truggy shells be based on racing trucks? And should the body extend over the front shock tower? Now, this is a big subject, and I'd like to try, if we could, to keep it fairly concise.
What did I tell you would happen?
You said very clearly that somebody will put a buggy shell on a truck.
And I told you this little phase that was happening would take off, and everyone would have one. And we're heading
and
that
hopefully
way.
It goes back and crawls back into the hole in which it emerged and dies back in there.
Yeah,
it's an odd look, isn't it? It's taken away from what I think the truck class is, which is a shame because I think it was a class that probably struggled in some ways anyway. So to then make it really fringe and weird and awful looking.
I just wonder whether it might help slightly because they do look like buggies. Big buggies. Are people going to like that?
Maybe you're right. Maybe that look will be what people want. Maybe. I don't know.
My consensus, which is only slight, not been that.
I'm going to start a poll on the side. I'm going to ask the community, and we should get some answers soon. I don't know how that actually works. Well, hopefully it comes up in people's chat.
Keep it PG, everyone.
Yes. No, it's just a yes or no answer. But is that popped up in anyone's? Oh, there we go. It's come up at the top. There we go. So we're going to see the vote. We're going to see them roll in now.
That's cool. That's cool. I don't like them personally, but yeah, whatever. If it makes people want to race them, then happy days.
I mean, yeah, Bootsy took it to the extreme, didn't he? And I
He did, but you can't
really
blame him. You can't. Do you know what I admire about
100%.
that? What I admire about that is like, do you know what, guys? If you're gonna try and dress mutton as lamb, I'm just gonna go with lamb. I like that. Just whatever. I'll put my buggy body shell on it and deal with it, because it looks no less weird than the other rotters that are out there. So,
Yeah. And I was quite
and I'm sure it's probably better for it.
Yeah,
and he needs one shell between classes.
Yeah,
and
I've got a 215 brand new body. I'm going to try and make it fit.
There we go. And regardless of what we think, it clearly is okay at a national level to run it. So, you know, it will be better. The truck will be faster with that on. So,
yeah,
on.
Definitely. I mean, let's just, to be honest, whenever the truck body fell off your truck, it handled better.
100%.
Yeah, for sure.
So
yeah, it's true.
It just won't. Yeah, you won't parachute. It's better air. You know, better cooling for the engine, better airflow, easier to refuel.
Yeah, so everything about it is, you know, making a faster race car. You wouldn't take an F1 car and stick an F150 body shell on it. Let's be honest.
No.
It
would look cool.
It would look cool.
It would look cool. They'd be very fast. Right.
So currently,
I can't quite. I was just thinking about it. I thought, what are my chances? I mean, I don't, you know, I'm not massively keen on it. However, you know, we'll strive anything within the rules to get peak performance. What are the chances if I mention it to John in the next week or two and say to him, I think we should try it on our truck just at the next national. I think we should do it. I know it's horrible, but I think we should possibly do it, John. What do you think your answer would be?
No.
Well, what we should do, we'll literally do a live video on the body performance on a truck. So let's map it out. Let's do it in reality. Let's take a lap. We'll do a lap with the body on. We'll take the body off, put a buggy body on, and see the difference.
That would be good, or not. That would actually be very good. Let's make that happen. I like it. Sounds good.
Because regardless of any rules or anything, let's see if it's actually faster or not.
Yes, agreed. That would be cool. That would actually be a very good experiment to do. So we'll do that, and we will come back with our findings. Next question: pros and cons of Lee's ebuggy ESC position.
Yeah, I mean, it's a con is it's not massively the place where it was intended to go. But a pro for me is it gave really good balance. So for anyone that has no idea what we're talking about right now, generally on the 319P EP, the speed controller goes in front of the motor and next to the servo, all down the right-hand side of the car, with the battery on the left. Whereas on my car, I put the battery and the speed controller on the left, and then the motor, servo, and receiver on the right. And it gave good balance, and for me it was nice. We're gonna do some more testing on it and find if it is better like that. We're gonna find a nice way to mount it and make it all work properly. And so yeah, I mean, for me it was nice. It gave a really good balance.
There we go.
I said it to you at the weekend, Lee. I sort of giggled about it when I saw it. I said, oh, it's, you know, that's a, you know, good thing to try or whatever. And I said, it will be good when it's actually inside the car at some point.
It does hang out a little bit, but that did aid keeping it cool.
Yes. Well, your speedo you were running is quite a tank anyway. And I thought, I think that may need a trailer at some point. For how much is that out the back of the car? But yeah, no, it'd be cool to see what the outcome is.
Yeah.
I've got one last question from my side, and then we're throwing it out to you, Leroy. My last question, I think, was actually from you, which is, question: are they the hardest steps in the RC to climb? Which I think was from Brookthorpe. And I'm glad that you asked that, because I actually fell up them, and I hadn't mentioned it to anybody. I think it was on the Saturday, because
you mentioned it to me.
I didn't mention it to you. I did. But I felt really embarrassed because I properly fell up the stairs. I was like, what is wrong with me? I can't even get upstairs anymore. This is a challenge. And then you put that question into tonight, and I was like, yes, it wasn't just me. that found something very difficult about those steps.
So funny. I was in pit lane because I knew when it happened. I didn't know that was what it was. I was in pit lane. I was like, it was on the Saturday, and I was like, Christ, John. I was starting the car in the box. I was like, for Christ's sake, John, could you please rev it? Because I would like, we should actually start this at some point. It's like, what? I was like, he's chatting up there. He's being cornered. No, then he pops up out there and like said nothing.
By a stare.
I isolated that moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? Every heat I walked up those, like they were very hot from then on in. Because it hurt. It really, really hurt.
For me,
they are the hardest steps.
They were just really difficult because not only were you going up steps, you were also like going uphill. It was like a travelator to get up there. I found it probably made my legs ache. Where normally I can kind of bound up rostrum steps. I've done it quite a lot, it just seemed extra hard at Brookthorpe to get up. Obviously,
it's just age.
That's
just what happens as the weeks roll on.
I think I actually mentioned it when we went there for the Astro race because it is. You'll see when you all go to the national, you'll think about it. John will need Marshall.
Remember that step. Well, I'll get a lift installed. I can just cruise up on the lift.
Get the standard in.
Over to you, Leroy. Yeah, exactly. Standard.
So over to me. So on our poll, we're going to end the poll right now. So we've had 18 votes in. A buggy. I can't even talk. Buggy body on a truck, yes or no? 89% say no, and we close the vote out there. So there you go. 89% said no for that. But it's not down to us. And if there's a faster thing out there and we're allowed to use it, we're going to use it. So we'll see.
Yeah.
So looking down the side, GW Racing's online. So hi Graham, how you doing, mate?
Hello, buddy.
Homeboy RC says, why is there not a round of the UK Nationals in Northern Ireland, Scotland, and Wales, as they're all in the UK?
No comment.
You tell me.
I'm getting drawn on that one. Yeah.
So there always used to be one in Wales. There is no 8 scale tracks that I know of in Scotland, so there's 2 out of the way. And Northern Ireland, obviously, we'd love to go to Bad for the Nationals. And I know they did try and get it there for a while, didn't they? But I don't know. Logistically, I guess it was too expensive for most people.
Yeah. I think there was some reasons it happened, which is a shame because it's a fantastic track, so it'd be good, great to go there for a national. But yeah.
Have to wait for the.
We could have another one in Wales. We just need a track.
We do, yeah, exactly. Be good.
Yeah, be good to see Pembury. It would be good to actually see Pembury back. I don't actually know if it's even there, or I haven't actually had any sort of hear any words about that. Whether Pembury is sort of in existence still, because that was a cool track. I mean, every single time we went there, it proceeded to just rain, but it was amazing. Only seconded by the
just
nights
like
out
wine.
there.
Exactly.
So,
John, you're in the club. You can't be like, oh, he just likes Wine Street. John, man, you'd be walking 6 strides ahead of me up to Wine Street.
Maybe.
All right.
Next.
Moving on from Wine Street. Chris Willett says, evening, lads. Evening, mate. Paul Williams, evening, guys. Have you made a decision yet on what your policy will be regarding face masks now the rules have been relaxed? Because it's up to the clubs.
Oh, good. Good question. I don't know. We haven't spoken internally about that right now. We haven't managed to get the 3 of us together to look at it, but yeah, we'll have to make one. From my side, I'm comfortable with not having face masks. Whether we have them on the rostrum still, but okay everywhere else, I don't know. Guys, what do you think? What do you want?
I mean, I read the back on track document that the BRCA put out yesterday PM, which was a good, quite a few page pamphlet about it. I think, really, I think within the gates, I don't really think there's a massive requirement for a face mask in the pit area, and in any areas aside possibly the rostrum, as you say, John. I mean, it's 15 people, all in decently close proximity. I don't know what we're preventing anyway, really, with the face mask, with everyone sort of being up and down anyway. So maybe it'd just be easier. It would definitely be easier for us to just.
Yeah, 100%. And most people don't wear them on their face anyway, and they come down. And if you're wearing glasses, they steam up and all that sort of stuff. So there's lots of good arguments. Leroy, what do you think?
I mean, yeah, for me, it's like it's advisory. If you want to wear a mask, wear a mask. Especially if you're going on the rostrum, you feel like you should wear a mask, wear a mask. But at the end of the day, it's kind of your choice.
Yeah.
Ultimately,
I think that's
the same as if you walk in the shop.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you want to wear one, crack on. There's no judgment whether you do or don't want to wear one.
Yeah, good. Yeah. It's good. We'll encourage it. But
it's the same as wearing ladies' clothes. If you want it, whatever. We're not going to judge you.
Exactly. Thank you.
Mr. Rumble does that.
Yeah, and we don't judge.
No judgment required.
No.
So
we'll formalise that. We'll formalise that soon. I think that's worth formalising. We've got a couple of races coming up. So, yeah, good question.
We will indeed. Steve Spencer, he says, what's the deal with a carbon rear plate which moves the rear shock tower further back? Is it to get more rear traction? Is anyone using this, or is it more for USA tracks? Mr. Rumble.
So, I understand. No, just quickly. So, I understand this part's actually now discontinued.
Okay.
From us.
That's 10. That was perfect.
And done.
So that probably tells you all you need to know about it.
We couldn't have scripted that better.
But let's say you move the shock standoff back a couple of mil, 3 mil.
So Abdullah is this part specifically came from Abdullah Killick, or he sort of had a little prototype of it, and then obviously subsequently went into production. We first ran it at Neo 17, I think. And I think it just gives a little bit more traction, a little bit more rear end grip. But equally, I think at times it made the cars a bit pendulumy. It made them a bit swingy, whatever that means. And yeah, you have to remount your body posts. You have to do this, you have to do that. It's sort of a not massively cheap carbon part, being 8 mil thick. And it's discontinued, so that probably tells you all you need to know about it.
Okay, there we go. Lyndon says Plymouth GP is 11th and 12th of September.
There we go. We will be there, Lyndon.
Focus.
Action Man said he had to turn the brightness down due to the colour of all of us.
Nice.
Agreed.
Good.
I'm just moving into the questions. Shuri says in the rule book about the body shell, it should cover the front shocks, yada, 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 which I know we kind of spoke about, so I'll move on from that. Steve also said buggy is buggy, truggy is truggy. Yep, but what is truggy? Well, what is buggy?
Truggy is turkey.
I mean, it's a bit like it's like a muggy.
Could you run a truck shell on a buggy? Are you allowed?
I tell you, that is actually a question that does need to be answered about minimum widths on truck. Minimum widths, minimum lengths. I know there's obviously a tyre minimum, but I don't think there's a minimum.
So you may as well just run a buggy with a truck shell, or just a buggy now,
or just a buggy, and just put some glasses on, magnifying glasses. That would be
a buggy with truggy wheels.
And hope it don't catch on the body shell. Yeah.
We're going to call it a fuggy.
Yes, perfect.
Yes. A fun buggy.
Homeboy RC, he says, mounted a Yokomo B-Max 4-wheel-drive buggy on his Tamiya F1 car once. There you go. Mikey Shuri, he says, John, you're not the only one. He tripped up the ramp as well.
Good. Marvellous. I feel much, much better about myself now.
Kev said Pembury has gone now, but they're looking for a new site, so hopefully they can find something soon.
Fingers crossed.
That's sad. That's a shame. Hopefully, yeah, good luck, guys. Hopefully you'll... Yep.
GW Racing said, make a different truggy shell that is more like a buggy, but still a truggy. I think the X-ray shell's a bit like that. Not X-ray, Kyosho shell's a bit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kev Brunsden again says, let the drivers decide if they want to wear one. Yeah, which I think, ultimately might happen. And Nitro Freak is online. He says, hello, everyone. So everyone can go over and subscribe to Nitro Freak for his podcast.
Hello, Nitro Freak.
Oh, hello, Nitro Freak.
So
Good.
yeah, that's caught
good.
up on the side. On the side, the questions on the doors are all caught up. And yeah, so there we go. So what's coming up this weekend, chaps?
So we have got
the team email. No, come on, John. Come on.
Don't talk all together now. Don't drink my beer, John.
I was teasing Leroy. No, exactly.
Watch him, Paul. Watch him.
Yeah, exactly. It's gone.
John will be out buying more of them.
Yeah.
Replace them.
Yeah.
So this weekend we are at East Shrewsbury for the next round of the Nitro Rallycross Nationals. We will Nemo Racing. We will be there from the Friday midday time. They're set up with the Nemo Village for all undercover pitting for all of our team and not team. If you want to come under, then crack on. If you run any of our products or not, but you're interested, come on under, come on down, see what it's all about. So yeah, we'll have the team email going out tomorrow. Beers on us. Probably be a Desperado. We'll have 100-pack of Desperado.
Bandito. We can't afford Desperado.
No, true. All right, Bandito it is. Not for me, of course. We'll have so team email will be going out tomorrow, or the sort of general run up to the weekend email will be going out tomorrow. Setup sheet will be there, so a suggested guided starting setup sheet for the race. In terms of just a precursor for that, it'll all be in the email anyway, but in terms of tyre suggestions, from what we have seen, and depending on how it pans out over the weekend with weather, they're dust acing the track extensively, and they have already done so. I've seen some photos, looks very good.
Yep.
That will make it incredibly high bite if it stays dry. We will be on likely a blue or intermediate 6-mic weapon. And or a super soft free ride. If it's really wet and it washes the water soluble dust ace away from the track, which it obviously will do, the track will go much lower grip, more dusty, and then we'll be on likely still a super soft free ride, the master of all tire, and then yeah, I think that's probably it. If it's really raining, we'll be on Ultra Soft Cube.
Yeah,
happy days. Well done, mate.
Novel complete.
So yeah,
good.
That.
It's it. Shall we do a Friday video when we're there and set up, Leroy? Mark, what do we think?
We can do.
We have. Once we're set up, there's not a lot else to do, so it'll be good to do that. We could do a maybe we could do a little trio track walk, or sort of maybe something on the track. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it might then duplicate what we're doing on the Saturday morning. But maybe we could do a pit live. That would be a good shout.
We could go over the car and what we've done to make it ready for that race.
Perfect. Yep, I like it. Sounds good.
On it.
So we're there, Leroy. It's into the shutdown process.
Let's shut down, guys. Thanks for joining us once again. If you haven't subscribed already, please go over and do so. Nitro Freak, maybe you can give us a shout out on your own channel, and we can get some subscribers our way too. Thanks for taking part in our poll where we realised that trucks should be trucks and buggies should be buggies. Other than that, yes, thank you very much indeed. We are Nemo Racing. Remember, there is still a deal where you can buy any Nemo Racing car, or a Gamma Racing car ultimately, and get a free 1-year subscription to Nemo Raceway. Come and practice whenever you want. Lots of people are taking us up on that offer and enjoying it every week, and loving the Agama A319P, EP, A215T, the rest of them, all the rest. So yeah, obviously the F225 is gaining a lot of traction, and if you ever need help tuning it or whatever, John is your man with a screwdriver. And if you ever need it to go faster than what it possibly should, myself and Rumble are always on hand to help.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
Other than that,
not for long.
thank you guys. And yeah, we'll see everyone on Friday when we do a little live from Shrewsbury trackside. But yeah, other than that, thanks for joining us.
Thank you very
Can't
much.
wait for it. We'll see you.
See you then.
Ciao for now, Brown.